Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome back here to the Wolterman Homestead and welcome back to our kitchen. Today's video is titled Savor the Scraps. It is a really fun collaboration, really neat and just an awesome idea. Honestly, collaboration hosted by Heritage Ways. So we want to say thank you to Katie for starting this collaboration and just, getting all of these great channels together. This is a collaboration that is going all month long. She has a running playlist on her channel. We will start one as well. So today there's a few channels that are also participating. So Katie did a video this morning. We watched it. It was really great. She has a really funny blooper at the end. And then there is Alicia in the kitchen and Molé Mama. I will leave links down below so you guys can go check out their channels. But then also be sure to check out some of those other channels that are participating this month as well. It is going to be every Saturday of the month, so every Saturday there's going to be several new videos out. So Savor the Scraps is all about, making food stretch longer and using leftovers. So that's kind of what today's video is. I'm going to be pulling a recipe from my favorite cookbook that I've talked about multiple times. The Prairie Homestead Cookbook by Jill Winger. She has a YouTube page as well, so go check her channel out. But we're going to do the creamy chicken noodle soup. So if you watched the last video that I put out, I stuck an entire chicken in a Instant Pot. And so we cooked a whole chicken in the Instant Pot, and so we are going to use all the leftovers from that chicken for this meal. So after I fixed that chicken, I went ahead and I made chicken stock. I have a video of that as well on how to do it. If you are ever cooking meats and things like chickens and hams, turkeys, things like that, save your bones, save your little leftover bits. If you use potatoes, carrots, any leftovers that you use to help season your meats, save them and stick them overnight in a crock pot and make broth. And so that's what I did. We'll have another video out later this week, and I did the same thing with ham. So I've got some ham broth in the refrigerator as well. So we're just going to make creamy chicken noodle soup. So let's jump on in and get started. So we've got a big Dutch pot here. I'm going to go ahead and drizzle some olive oil in here, probably about 3 tablespoons. While we're waiting for our pot to heat up, I want to tell you what I got on this plate. So I've got about, I don't know, maybe 10 baby carrots here, and then I've got about 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that I just chopped up and minced real fine, and then I've got a little bit of onion. Dylan's not a big onion guy, so I didn't use a whole bunch, but I kind of diced it finely, and then once our pot gets hot, we'll drop them in and get them cooking. I've got this pot on about medium, so I'm going to go ahead and drop in our carrots, garlic, and onion. Now, if you wanted to add celery to this, you could. The recipe actually calls for celery, but I currently don't have celery, and our family's not real big on celery, so we're not going to throw that in here today. So you're going to want to cook this about 6 minutes, about till your onions start getting a little tender. While we're waiting on this pot to get cooking, this is all the leftover chicken from the other night. So I'm going to pull it out and try and make everything about the same size. Dylan has been pulling and eating on this the last couple of days. But I'm just going to kind of cut it up so they're all kind of roughly about the same size. Because like this piece is just huge. This smells really good already. So we've been going it for about 6 minutes, and the onions look really pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and add some of our seasonings and some flour. So we're going to add a 1/4 cup of flour. And then we're going to add our seasonings. We're going to give this all a good stir, and we're going to let this cook for a few minutes. So in our seasonings, we have 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, but I actually didn't use that much. I used 2 teaspoons of dried parsley. You have a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of dried rosemary, and then you have a 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric. While our carrots are cooking for a few minutes with everything, we're going to go ahead and get out some, we're going to get 6 cups of chicken stock. I'm going to go ahead and start adding our chicken stock. So we got 4 cups. Now we need to add 2 more. So I raised the heat just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some egg noodles. So the recipe calls for 16 ounces of egg noodles. So for this recipe, I used store-bought noodles, but for Mother's Day, Dylan got me the KitchenAid attachment to make pasta. So I'm really excited. That is supposed to arrive next week. So we will be making noodles, some homemade noodles, because like I like a big thick egg noodle, big thick noodles, and Dylan's the total opposite. He likes the thin noodles. So that's kind of why I got the thinner noodles. The last time that I made this recipe, I made homemade egg noodles, and I made them thick and hearty and just, oh, it was so good. And that was his one request. He was like, can you do thinner noodles next time? So that's why I used the egg noodles today. That, and it's just kind of quicker. So there will be pasta videos coming soon. So this is starting to get hot. The noodles are getting tender, so I'm going to go ahead and throw our chicken in just so that it can start to heat up and get warm. And then I'm also going to go ahead and throw in 1 cup of milk. Give that a stir. And I'm also going to throw in some salt and pepper. We're going to let this cook for a few more minutes, but for the most part, we're all done. If only you guys could smell this. It smells incredible. But I really love this recipe too because it makes for great leftovers. So like your leftovers make for fantastic leftovers. So this is pretty much done. I'm going to serve it up in a bowl and give it a taste. But again, the great thing about this recipe is if you kind of did it the way that I did it, everything is leftovers. I mean, I paid, I think, $8 for the whole chicken. Cooked it in the Instant Pot. That made 1 meal. And then, you know, cooked the bones, the extras, overnight. And then that gave me broth. And so then that, you know, leads to a whole nother meal. And I mean, you can do so many other things with broth other than just creamy chicken noodle soup. So, you know, that was like 3 meals, and then, you know, this is another meal, and that's leftovers as well. So, I mean, you can stretch a whole chicken a long way. So, it's really cool. And it smells really good. So, I've let this cool down a little bit. Now we're going to give it a taste. It's so good. And it's so flavorful. Just the broth is just absolutely delicious. It is creamy. So good. I'm going to sit here and continue to eat this. Thanks for joining us today here at the Wolterman Homestead in making creamy homemade chicken noodle and soup. Again, thank you to Katie over at Heritage Ways for coming up with this really fun collaboration, and for all the other channels for participating. Again, I dropped their links down in the description below, so make sure you go check out their videos as well. That's all today. As always, take care and God bless.